What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. This is not the video I wanted to make after returning to making videos from the NHL trade deadline. I took a little bit of a break there after all of the videos that I was putting out. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, check out all the other videos and upcoming videos. I'm actually thinking about starting to do live streaming during the games. So if you're interested in live commentary, let me know. Make sure to like this video, but let's get on to it. Do the Leafs have a goaltending problem? So let's just kick it back to the beginning of the year real quick, all right? Long time ago, it seems like. So the biggest thing going into this season was the Leafs had a big question mark with Freddie Andersen. They knew that he was coming into a contract year, and he had to play his best hockey in order to get his best contract. Because, if he played well this season, regardless if it was from the Leafs, he would probably get a bit of a raise. Who knows? Over $5 million from another team if he performs and then performs well in the playoffs. Who knew? Jack Campbell was his backup. People were like, okay, are we going to have a guy that can come in here and give us good starts? Can he play very well? Could he take over the crease? Who knows? We had a pretty solid tandem. Then to get the goaltending depth to avoid having a problem that the Leafs had last season, they went out and got Aaron Dell, and they got Michael Hutchinson, who, by the way, hasn't played too bad, but we'll get to that. So the Leafs had four. Then, obviously, they lost Aaron Dell on waivers, and then, obviously, with the injuries and Freddie Andersen, blah, 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 everything has been going absolutely nuts. Freddie Andersen played pretty poorly this season. Let's be real, right? Then Jack Campbell came in, and he kept getting injured, but he was playing well when he was starting. Michael Hutchinson in his first few starts played really well. So at least there was like two goaltenders that could give you starts and play well. But what happens when all of these goaltenders start to play poorly? You go to the deadline. Freddie Andersen's probably out into the playoffs, a little bit of LTIR cap shenanigans. They pick up David Rittich, right? Okay, great. Now him and Campbell can split starts, and maybe even Hutchinson if Campbell needs a break or if Rittich needs a break, whatever. Okay, this could work. Campbell's winning a bunch of games. Rittich comes in, he could play really well. And then Campbell hasn't played so well recently. Let's be honest, guys. He hasn't played all that well. And then David Rittich comes in and actually hasn't played too well either in the last couple games. Let's look at the numbers, okay? So in the last 5 games, this is Freddie Andersen before he left, all right? .826 save percentage with 4 goals against Winnipeg. These are the last 5 games he played. 3 goals against on 27 shots, not too bad, but you're hoping that number is 2. I think the magic number for a goaltender obviously is 2, especially for a starter that's getting paid, like $5 million. You're hoping that he could keep a pretty decent average. Also, another thing that's kind of an underrated topic here, I really don't want this video to become about Kyle Dubas, but I like the depth that he acquired this year in the goaltending position, and I also like the depth that he acquired at the defensive position. He got good defenders, he got guys that are a little tougher, and, he kept his prospect pool pretty full in terms of defensemen like Sandin and Liljegren, and, kept guys down the pipeline, but we haven't seen Marincin play, knock on wood, anything like that. So he's kept it pretty good. So these goaltenders got a little more help. Okay, so let's go here against Winnipeg again. 5 goals against, 27 saves for an .844. I mean, I know that's quite a bit of shots, but 5 goals against. And in some of these games, there's some pretty soft goals. The one game against Ottawa, again, this is against Ottawa. 2 goals against, but still, that's a good start. Then 4 goals against, 18 shots against Calgary. So Freddie, I just hope when he comes back in the playoffs, or however the Leafs deal with their salary cap, if they put, Hyman and LTR, I don't know what they're going to do, but when Freddie comes back, he might be given the crease depending on how Campbell and Rittich end the season, and maybe even Michael Hutchinson. But let's move on here. Let's move on to Jack Campbell. So, of course, he went on that magical run and then played quite well. That, kind of stopped right here. Big game against Montreal, only 2 goals against. Then you had this game, 5 goals against on 32 shots, not too great, especially against Ottawa. And a few of these games, he had some really bad goals go in against him. Same thing here in Montreal, 3 goals against on 24 shots. 3 goals on 6 shots, definitely not a good start against Winnipeg. And then 3 goals against Vancouver. And again, just not the greatest performance. Now, I'm not going to get on Campbell too much because I do know that he went on just an absolute amazing run, and it was incredible. But just because he went on that big run, you don't just excuse some of the poor goaltending in some of these games and some of the soft goals that have gone in, because it seems like any goalie that's touched the crease more recently, Campbell or Riddick, there's at least 2 softies every single game, and those 2 goals could be the difference. Like the last 2 games against Vancouver, Holtby played amazing, but the Leafs gave their goaltenders an opportunity to win because they were scoring some goals. Yet Riddick and Campbell both were just giving up some softies, and you can't have that, especially when the Leafs are trying to hold on to that first place spot going into the playoffs. But it's looking like it's slipping away from them. Winnipeg and Edmonton keep winning. It's getting real close. So then we go to Riddick, and I know he's only had 3 starts for the Leafs, I believe. So starting here, the first game against his former team, they lost in overtime. Not too bad. I thought he played really well. Then against Winnipeg there, only 1 goal against. Again, pretty good start. Then against Vancouver, the 5 goals against. And boy, let me tell you, there was some real bad goals against in that game. And, I do know he's on a new team, and maybe it's just like he's still kind of adjusting, and I would still give him another start and be like, listen, man, we really need you to pick it up. But Sheldon Keefe said in his post game, we need goaltending here. Like, our guys are scoring goals. Like, we got when any team that scores 3 or 4 goals, I'm sorry, but that's giving your goaltender support. Like, a team doesn't have to score 4 or 5 goals every single game to win. That's a problem. If you score 3, you should feel pretty comfortable if you have a good goaltender back there. And the Leafs have invested in 4 different goaltenders already this year. Technically 5, but Aaron Dell didn't even play. He only played in the blue and white game. But it's kind of unfortunate. So then you go to Michael Hutchinson, who, by the way, guys, he has a 919 and a 242. Like, he's playing pretty well this year. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit surprised with the acquisition of David Riddick. But, again, his last 5 games, a real good game against Edmonton. 3 goals against, pretty good game against Vancouver. Then against Ottawa, he had that one where he allowed 2 goals there. So, again, 1 crappy start. He had 2 pretty good starts here. 1 crappy start. Okay, and mind you, Hutchinson's like a 3rd or 4th string goaltender, so I'm not expecting him to put up the same numbers. Then against Edmonton, not the greatest performance, 3 goals against, and then a pretty good performance against Calgary with 32 saves with only 2 goals against. So, I mean, out of all of these guys, are we kind of thinking Hutchinson has put up the best numbers in his last 5 games? Like, I mean, that's up to you guys, but his numbers look pretty decent to me. This is the thing. If Campbell and Riddick both have 2 poor starts, like let's say they both start another game, like let's say Campbell gets the next one, doesn't play well, Riddick plays one, doesn't play well, I'm giving the Hutchinson a chance. Like, the Leafs don't have the opportunity to mess around here, because if Hutchinson can play better than both of these guys, give him the start. I don't care if you have a personal connection with any of these goaltenders. I love Freddie Anderson. The first couple of years, the Leafs were playing terribly defensively. There was a lot of really young players on the team, and Freddie stole games for the Leafs. Like, if you're going to sit here and say Freddie's been bad the whole time he's been in Toronto, then you're kidding yourself. And when Freddie's healthy and on his game, that guy is one of the best goalies in the league. But recently, he hasn't been. Campbell went on that magical run. I honestly think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to get the next few starts, and I think he's going to play solid. I really do. And I'm hoping that's the case. Riddick, he's a backup goaltender. He should be able to give you a start once every 3 or 4 games and at least give you a chance to win. But in his last 2 starts, he's basically been the reason we didn't win, to be honest with you. Like, he's played pretty poorly. Michael Hutchinson, again, I'm telling you, like, I would give him a shot. If you're worried about Riddick and Campbell, maybe just give Hutchinson a chance to take the crease. I don't know. Because, guys, we can't just sit here and say, oh, Hutchinson sucks, when, quite frankly, he's actually had some pretty damn good games this year, and his numbers don't look bad at all. Like, how many games has he played? He's played 8 games. How many has Riddick played? He's definitely played more. Okay, so he's played 18. And his Riddick has a 8.99 save percentage. I'll pop it up for you guys, and a 2.98. So obviously a bigger sample size. But Hutchinson, pretty decent numbers. I mean, I'm at least giving him a chance if these guys start, not playing well. But that's just hypothetical. I don't know. Maybe the next game, like I said, honestly, I think Campbell's just going to take the crease again. And then I'd be really interested to see what they do with Freddie when it comes to the playoffs. If they're able to get Freddie on a conditioning loan with the Marlies, if the AHL even gets to play that many games towards the end of the stretch there, the end of the season, then maybe Freddie comes right back into the crease. I don't know. You guys let me know down below. I just wanted to give my thoughts. I do not think it's time to panic yet, but we're getting pretty close. I think Campbell is going to pick it up. I really do. And I think Riddick is going to be fine if he plays like once every 3 or 4 games. So we'll see. Let me know down below who should be starting the next few games, or what do you think? Should Hutchinson get a start? Maybe. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.